Welcome back to part 3 of Style. Write powerful and beautiful sentences. It's brought to you by Master Edit. It's awesome software I recommend for everyone. You can check it out on the link in the description there to the right. Okay, now continue on with these suggestions then on how to write powerful sentences. When we had these rules we went through last time, match characters to subjects, match actions to verbs. So what that means is you might have like a passive sentence, or you might have a sentence in which it seems like you have a noun. You obviously have like a noun for a subject and everything, and it seems like the person's doing something, but you're not. If you're not matching the character to the subject and the action to the verb, then you don't have as powerful and as lean of a sentence. So let's look at an example of what that means before we look at these examples of nominalizations and what they are. Okay, so Bob made an argument to conduct an investigation. Here we have a subject now. So before we didn't have a subject. And here we actually have a character as a subject, that is Bob. That is, you want the subject to be actually the one doing something. However, we haven't matched actions to verbs because the verb made isn't really an action. The action is being lost to a nominalization. Now, a nominalization is when you take a verb and make it into a noun. And so argument is really the action of the sentence. So we've lost the action of the sentence. So we have failed to match actions to verbs. We can simply do that by getting rid of this weak verb and preposition "and", right? And we can change argument into argued. However, we don't have who he's arguing with. Bob argued to conduct an investigation, so it's vague because now we don't have the object. Who is he arguing with? So we could say down here, right? But also we have still another nominalization, that is investigation. So we need to change investigation to investigate. So that gets, when you do that, you can actually get rid of conduct altogether. Okay, so now Bob argued to investigate, but who is he arguing with? We still don't have, the object of argued. That is, in this case, the object's not somebody, not a person. So we need a person here. So I'm going to put with the chief. Oops, I spelled it wrong. Anyway, there it goes. It automatically got to it. So now we have a sentence. And so you follow the same process, but I just used he. He argued to go to investigation. He argued to investigate the scene. He argued with the chief to investigate. And what was he investigating? The scene. So now we have a good sentence using, so when you're looking at sentences, look for normalizations. And what's cool about Master Edit is this is actually what we just kind of went through here is actually called the Paramedic Method. And so in the Master Edit, there's actually a cool feature that's basically automatically does the Paramedic Method for you. That is, it highlights the different popular prepositions like to and for and stuff. It also highlights and, because oftentimes nominalizations will follow and, but it also highlights suffixes like ion and other popular suffixes of nominalization. So it really helps you quickly do the Paramedic Method, which is really useful to strengthen your writing and getting up to par. So it just saves a lot of time. Okay, so these are the first 3 rules. Then we can see, and this will really help your writing when you practice using these rules and practice like with the Master Edit using the Paramedic Method. And so those rules went along with these rules we already went through before. When you quickly move from your subject to your verb to your object, make that whole complete sentence and then either begin it with a short introductory phrase or end it with a couple long phrases or even short phrases, then you'll have powerful sentences that sing and are beautiful. But also when you combine this with these suggestions here, you can make your sentences leaner and leaner is good. You can still have a really long sentence, but it'll be lean, and lean is what you want. Characters shouldn't just be in the subject, but they should be the subject. So here's an example. Her breaking of the DVD player pissed off her husband. Now, at first glance, it actually seems like you have followed the rules above, but we haven't, because we haven't matched the action to a verb, because we have a whole entire subject here. This whole thing is the subject. Her breaking of the DVD player is the subject, and that's what pissed off her husband. So now we need to make her the subject, and she needs to be doing something. So she needs to be the one doing the breaking. When she broke the DVD player, now we're using subordination, or you can just say she broke the DVD player that angered her husband, that pissed off her husband. But in this case, we're going to do it this way. When she broke the DVD player, she angered her husband, or when she broke the DVD player, her husband got pissed off. The point being, now the person, the doer, is the subject, and she's the one doing something. So in this case, you have matched the verb for the action. So she broke, and then you have the object. Notice you get right to the point. She broke the DVD player. There's like nothing in between there. But sometimes you'll have longer subjects, longer things happening. Anyway, these three suggestions are important as well. Put familiar information before new information. Put simple information before complex information. Put short information before long information. So what does that mean? And just real quick before we get into that, what those mean, here's an example of something that's important when you're thinking about information too. Be sure to check the order of events when you have sentences like when this then that, or as this that. So when you have events where one thing is happening because of something else, a causal sentence, or an order, you want to pay attention to the order. So look at this. What happens if the order is wrong? She angered her husband when she broke the DVD player. It's easy to write sentences like this. So you want to, when you're analyzing your work, look for actions that happen one before the other, or one causes the other. Look for these causal sentences. And you'll say, well, what happens first? Well, she has to break the DVD player before her husband gets angry. So this information, and this is so when you want to put new information, put familiar information before new information. So the new information is that her husband got angry. We need what happens before that. That's what this first one means. So you need to put it first. She broke the DVD player and angered her husband, and her husband got angry. So now we have this first one. That's how you apply the first one. What about putting simple information before complex information? Real quick, another example of putting familiar information before new information is you always have to start with new information. And when you do start with new information, by information you just simply mean when you're telling a story, right? So here you are telling a story, and you need to introduce the characters. You need to introduce the setting. That's new information. So you want to try to start even with that. You want to try to start with the familiar. That is stuff that people can relate to. So if you're in a sci-fi, start with things they can relate to, like they're on a spaceship or whatever, and describe things that make sense, and then go into the new information. But also what it means though is once you've already introduced the characters, that's familiar information. So before describing something new that we don't know about yet, you want to describe what we already have. Put that first if it's going to be part of the sentence. And then simple information before complex information. We'll get back into that on the next video because it looks like I'm running out of time here. So once again, if you want, you can rate this video because I am hosting on YouTube. So if you want to rate it, that's cool. If you want to leave comments, feel free, or questions. And again, the description is on your right. You see the description there. You can click the little link that says more. Anyway, I have the link in there for the Master Edit software. I recommend checking it out. Just go to the site, check it out. You can take it for a test drive for free. It's cool, and see how it works and see if it can help you. I love it. It just helps so much. Anyway, thanks for watching.